This is Joe. He is quite literally your average Joe. On the surface, Joe is actually doing well by society standards. He's got a decent job as a senior manager at a Big 4 firm. Don't get me started on Big 4. He drives a fancy German sedan he really can't afford, lives in a white suburban neighborhood, has a wife, 2 kids, the dream life. But in reality, Joe is absolutely fucking miserable. Why? Because society is designed to make people like you and Joe fat, ugly, poor, and yes, depressed. Let's break down Joe's life and figure out why, and more importantly, how you can avoid his fate. Joe wakes up at 6 a.m. to commute an hour to his work in his brand new German car, the only thing in his life that makes him feel something. At the office, he spends the day in boring, soul-sucking meetings, pushing numbers around in Excel for bosses who couldn't give a shit about him. When it's time for lunch, Joe decides to DoorDash a burger with large fries drenched in seed oils, and to top it off, he also orders a large Coke. He tells himself he deserves it because he's so busy at work. He eats at his desk, grinding away for a promotion he thinks finally will make his wife fall in love with him again. Spoiler alert, it won't. Fast forward to the evening. Joe's drained after working late to impress his boss. He spends another hour driving home and is greeted by his kids screaming, "Skibbity Sigma toilet, we are hungry." His wife isn't home. She's at an after-work event, laughing at her boss's jokes. She never laughs at Joe's. Joe is exhausted and throws some dino nuggets in the air fryer for dinner. At the table, no one talks, the kids are on their iPads, and Joe checks Twitter to see if there's any spicy news. After dinner, he decides to indulge in some chips and soda. He turns on the news, which only makes him angry. By the time his wife stumbles in, he's doom-scrolling Instagram reels, comparing himself to people with better cars, hotter wives, and bigger houses. He stays up until 1 a.m. in revenge bedtime procrastination, trying to get back a little control over his day or at least feel like he has some control over his life. He gets 5 hours of sleep, wakes up exhausted, and repeats the cycle for the rest of his life. Looking at Joe's life, it's easy to see why he is absolutely miserable despite doing everything right according to society. He has no time for exercise. Joe spends 10 hours sitting at a desk and another 2 hours commuting. He barely moves, so his body stores fat. His muscles rots away. If he even had some to begin with, and his energy levels are an absolute disaster from his horrible diet, causing his insulin to go crazy. 2. He has a terrible diet. Seed oils, processed foods, and sugar are his staples because he's too busy to cook real meals. Society has told him to follow the food pyramid, but that's a scam. Want to know what you should eat? Check my other videos or the link in my bio. Number 3. Joe's sleep is absolutely trash. 5 hours of sleep doesn't cut it. Sleep is where your body repairs, produces hormones, and keeps you looking sharp. Without it, Joe's testosterone levels tanks, which causes him to become fatter, uglier, and even more depressed. Number 4. He is chasing material stuff, not happiness. Joe thinks a promotion, a better car, or more money will fix everything. It won't. He's stuck in the hamster wheel, working hard for things that won't fill the void he's so desperately trying to fill. Here's the thing. It's not Joe's fault. Society has programmed him to live like this, to eat trash, work a pointless job for social status, and ignore his health. This is Arthuro. He figured out the game early. He realized society's rules were a trap and decided to live life on his own terms. Let's have a look at Arthuro's daily routine. He wakes up at 6 a.m. and starts his day with a morning walk, getting sunlight to set his circadian rhythm. When he gets home, he starts working on his own business until noon. He then breaks his intermittent fast with a high-fat, high-protein meal that fuels his body and mind. After lunch, Arthuro trains outdoors, grounding himself and soaking up the sun while building strength and endurance. Dinner is grass-fed steak shared with his family. No screens, just real connection. And an hour before bed, Arthuro shuts off all electronics, giving his brain time to relax. He's asleep by 10 p.m., getting a full 8 hours. Arthuro isn't just surviving, he's thriving. And here's why. Number 1. He prioritizes his health. Arthuro eats nutrient-dense food, exercises regularly, and gets quality sleep. This keeps his hormones optimized, his body lean, and his energy high. Number 2. He avoids distractions. Arthuro doesn't waste time on the news, doom scrolling, or chasing promotions since he knows these things are just designed to distract him from what really matters. He focuses on building himself and his purpose. Number 3. He values real human connection. Real, face-to-face connection with his family keeps him happy. A family is the most beautiful thing you can have. This is how real success should be measured. Most importantly, Arthuro is content. He's not stuck in a cycle of chasing material things for validation. He's focused on self-improvement and living a life that aligns with his values, giving him a clear purpose. What can you learn from this? Joe's life is a cautionary tale. Arthuro's life is the blueprint to being content. If you want to escape society's trap and take control of your life, here's where to start. Number 1. Fix your diet. Focus on organic, one-ingredient, animal-based foods. High protein, high fat, low carb. No seed oils or processed trash. Number 2. Start moving. Walk, lift weights, sprint. Just get your body moving every day. Number 3. Sleep like a king. Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of high-quality sleep. And number 4. Find your purpose. Stop chasing empty goals and build something meaningful. After all, we're all just monkeys on a spinning rock in space, so why not live a life you can actually enjoy? If you're ready to stop being an average Joe and find your purpose, subscribe to my channel and I'll teach you how to maximize your looks, find your purpose, and build a life you're actually proud of. Thank you for watching, and remember, spread positivity.